Hi, I'm Digi. You probably know me from my TikTok, DigiChiaki. And if you do, you probably know that I mostly make take content or edits or such on there. However, I wanted to branch out a little bit, especially since I've been making very rambly content on there recently. And I figured YouTube would be a much better place to do that. So, hi, this is my YouTube channel. I really do need to get a proper intro. Today's video, we are going to be rating the Owl House characters based on how strong I think they are. Now, to elaborate on that, when I say strong, I mean, one, how strong are their respective powers, and how useful are they in a combative sense. So I'm going to be going purely off what we see their powers do, and how I think that reflects to their overall strength. I'm also not going to be rating side characters, so Amity's siblings, the teacher, Basha, all of those characters, bar Camilla, if she counts as a side character, will not be included in this list. That understood? Okay, let's start. You're only human. So who is the weakest character in the Owl House? I think it's pretty obvious that as the only human who does not have a proficiency in glyph magic, that goes to Camilla. Of course, for a human, she's pretty strong. You know, we saw how she lobbed that bat at Kimura. But in terms of all of these other witches and demons, yeah, she's not exactly the strongest. But I'm weak. Now, I should have mentioned this before, but there are 3 characters I'm going to rank twice in this list. Hunter is one of them. You'll figure out the other 2 later. The reason I'm ranking Hunter here and him again later on is because I believe he goes through 2 very strong changes in terms of his powers. Hunter, regular Hunter, post-redeemed Hunter, isn't really all that strong. He's definitely fast, but in terms of combat, we really don't see much from him. I'm fast as fuck, boy. I think his powers are meant to be more defensive for a reason. Again, I think it thematically fits in with his whole purpose having to be to serve for Belos, but rather now he has his powers that actually want to serve his own wants, which are to help and defend his friends. Now you see me, now you don't. We have Gus. I really did not want to put him this low, but unfortunately, this cast of characters is very strong. And the only reason I relegated to put Gus in this place is because of the fact that his powers aren't necessarily combative. The Illusion Coven tries to take hostage of the school. Yes, he did manage to outwit the Illusions Coven head, but he was going against another illusionist, and also he had the rest of the school to rely on. He's very strong and can mentally mess up a person, but in terms of pure combative strength, he's just not all that out there. And that's fine. He doesn't have to be. We love you, Gus. You are insanely underrated. We have the one and only Golden Guard. Yes, this is Hunter before his redemption, and mainly because of the fact that he has this superpowered staff. Hi. Much isn't different, but at least he gives him the ability to like shoot magic out of it, so that is a step up from just being super speedy. Let's move on. So I had to actually revamp the list because for some reason when I originally made it, I must have been snorting apple blood because I put Lilith as the second weakest, and I'm editing it now and I'm like, no. Lilith is definitely at least 11th place. 11. The place that comes after 12th or before 12th. At first, it doesn't make a lot of sense. She was literally the primary antagonist in season 1. But when you think about it, it actually does make sense. Lilith is so much weaker than Ida, and the show hammers that point in every time to the point where she can barely even beat her without using Liz as a bargaining chip.
Maybe it is the curse, but then how pathetic are you that you can't best me at my worst?
And I think thematically that works so well. Emperor Belos wants to appear powerful, but at the end of the day, he doesn't want any of his lackeys to actually have that much power, which is why the witch, who is the status of power in the Boiling Isles, isn't actually powerful, but Ida, who is pretty much the epitome of the opposite of what Belos stands for, is, at least at the beginning of the show, the strongest witch on the Boiling Isles.
Oh, sexual!
11th place? I believe so. Sorry, no, 10th place. I've got all the places mixed up, whatever, I'll correct it in the editing. Next up, we have Amity. Amity is very strong. That is a sentiment that is made from the beginning of the show. However...
Wait a minute!
However...
If you don't get your squiggly diggly head out.
She does not grow in her powers like other characters higher up on the list do, and therefore she's gonna stay down here.
Oh, such a big girl!
Did you fuck up number 2? I wrote the list, included King in it, but forgot to mention him whilst we were talking. I promise I love King, I just forgot. King is a hard one because, yes, he's a titan, but he's also a baby. And considering how big titans can get, I think it's safe to say that he hasn't anywhere near unlocked the true potential of his power. I do think it's really cool that he does get a little powered up form when Luz dies. I'm saying that wrong, aren't I?
Yes!
Lose.
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 So I'm just doing a little bit of detective work. I do think he can beat the characters that have come before in the list, but I'm not sure if he'd be able to beat the characters that come after.
Witches
Fascinate me.
Here we have regular Luz, the second of the 3 characters that I'm going to be ranking twice. Regular Luz, for a human, is a badass, bro. She goes wild off the walls when it comes to her magic. There are some scenes I'm sat there like, when did we learn all of this? This all happened behind the scenes, and honestly, it's really interesting to watch because this girl could barely make a block of ice at the beginning. All of a sudden, now she's fighting Emperor Bellos, chipping a piece of his mask off, swinging around using these glyphs, saying, talk to the glyph, which, girl, she knows she's slick. In terms of the Hexside friend group, she is second only to 1.
She's a man.
Unfortunately, that 1 is the one and only Willow. When I tell you this girl is basically a Black Ops agent.
And if anyone gets in my way, they'll feel the sting of defeat.
Can you imagine the fact that her parents wanted her on the Abomination track? That is the definition of wasted potential. All I'm saying is, it's so good that this girl did not go to the dark side. You saw what happened when she got a little bit stressed. Well, very stressed. It was a very traumatizing situation. But the point is, that was a fraction of her emotions. Are you kidding me? Have you seen her play Grudge Bee? And the fact that she's literally recognizable by the fact that she's not scared of anybody. What do you mean I'm scaring you? Girl, we just saw you. Girl, you're not scared of anybody.
Then how about just 2 of us?
I believe I can fly.
Third and hopefully the last time I mess up. I forgot to put Ida. How did I forget Ida? I swear I talked about her. I think I just wasn't recording. But Ida, I put her after Willow purely because, yes, she does lose her powers, but before she has her powers, she does, whilst mostly self-proclaimed, dub herself the most powerful witch on the Boiling Isles, but she also backs it up. Unfortunately, we don't really get to see her at her prime other than the episode of the backstory with Lorraine. But the fact that all of the times we see her using her magic in season 1 are while she's actively dying from a curse, yes, Miss Ma'am. Also, she has much more control over her harpy form and her beast form because she's had it longer than Lilith, which is why she's so much higher up than Lilith. And the fact that she literally has teeth in her stomach, obviously that was beast form, which is not the form that she's in by the end of the show. But even then, her harpy form, we see her also get the little power up that King gets, and she is just massive. Honestly, probably even bigger than Lilith's beast form, and she's not even fully beast here, so. Next up, we have a character who I think their strength is very much underrated and not talked about enough. And I think because of the fact that I said there, you can already guess who I'm talking about. But yes, we have Rain. Rain often gets characterized as a rather soft and gentle-hearted character. And like, yes, they are, but they also know how to smack a bitch. And I think it's just because of the fact that Bard magic is weirdly OP. They can change the chemistry of potions. They can change the chemistry of magic, however that works. They can also block other magic attacks whilst influencing other people's actions. What's the gender neutral version of a Mary Sue? Because that is Rain. And I think Bellos knew damn well what he was doing, taking Rain's body specifically. He knew Rain was down with the shits when it came to their power. After Rain, I think comfortably comes Bellos, the final character who I'm going to rank twice. Bellos is Bellos. There's a reason he was the main antagonist. And I'm going to go on a bit of a side rant here. I love how the show tricks you into thinking that all of the antagonists are going to be petty and basically non-threats. I mean, look at the characters that are antagonists up until Bellos. You have Kikimori, you have that one weird pink guy, the guy who tricks Ida's mom into giving him her money, Basha. You have all of these random nitbits of villains or whatever. But then Bellos comes.
Hello, motherfucker.
And it lures you into a false sense of security of thinking, oh, he's just gonna be like all of the other villains.
Hunter, why are you hurting me? I only wanted to help you.
That man was not. He is an incredible villain, and he's smart as well. He's strong. I don't know how else to say about it. He has them weird little arm thingies that fly out and be slapping people and shit. Again, reason he was king of the Boiling Isles for so long. I hate you, but you're an amazing villain and you're very strong, and I gotta give you your props. Titan Luz as our third strongest character. Incredibly strong. She has the power of the Titan. I'm going by logic here and assuming that the fact that she's human waters down her Titan powers a little bit. But at the end of the day, she's the one who did the final blow and took Belos' heart out.
Now eat this, sucker!
But I will also take into account that she did have help from Ida, Rain, and King, so we don't really know how much of that was purely feasible for her to do on her own. Thus, unfortunately, she will not be at the top of this list.
We're human. We're better than this!
Bitch, shut up.
I just want to cause a little entropy.
Our second strongest character, and I feel like some people might disagree with me on this, but hey, I'm standing on it. Collector. The Collector is introduced to us by taking the character that we previously knew to be the strongest and flicking him against the wall, splatting him into gunk. This is a child, by the way. And the reason I'm putting them this high, whilst I put King much lower, was because of the fact that we actually see many feats of the creator's work. He reconstructs Belos' castle, so they clearly have some form of like telekinesis, but not only that, they literally reform it into an entire new one for themselves, or a new owl house. He can send out mindless drove spies that turn people into toys, meaning that he doesn't even have to be there to fight. On top of that, he can turn people into puppet slaves. Moreover, he obviously has some sort of reality-altering ability, which is displayed when he plays games with Ida, King, and Luz. And it's also pretty much implied, if not canon, that he's immortal because he does not understand what death means to mortals. And he moved the sun. The kid moved the sun. However, I cannot put them on the top of this list in good faith as much as I love them because of the fact that they get pretty heavily nuked in episode 3. There's not much fighting done from Collector in episode 3, especially against the character that I'm going to have in first place, which sort of tells me that, especially because Titan Belos was in a full-grown Titan's body, Collector probably wouldn't have been able to beat him because Titan magic cancels out Collector magic. Collector, I love you. Personally, you're my number one, but unfortunately, you're not number one of this list.
No one argued, but I think I heard King whisper,
I hope I see you again.
And last but not least, the character that I believe is the strongest in the Owl House, as much as I hate to put him up here, Belos possessing Rain. Just kidding. Titan Belos. The fact that Titan Belos needed 2 Titans and a cursed harpy lady to take him out, none of the characters could take him on a 1-to-1. He also covered like half of the Boiling Isles in his weird spore things. This man really thought it was The Last of Us. All jokes aside, not even just as Titan Belos, of course that's his final form, but even just as Slime Belos, he basically has the ability to possess anybody he wants, which is an insane power to have, even if he does have the most pitiful death, which he absolutely deserves. Also, I have to mention this, it's completely unrelated to ranking, but I just love it. The fact that he starts off as the only human in Bones world, and by the end of it becomes the least human, both physically and internally. Mwah, chef's kiss. It very much gives the Undertale genocide route where everybody stops thinking that you're a human and genuinely starts seeing you as a monster because you are a monster. But yeah, he is the strongest character when in the Titan's heart across the whole series, in my personal opinion. Well, obviously, we have King's dad, but like I said, I'm not rating the side characters, so... Whew, that was fun. That was so fun rating. Please give me your own personal list and let me know if you agree or disagree with what I'm saying. I'm not a power scaler. I'm not like a veteran of the show. I do watch it a lot and I have recently rewatched it. But like, basically don't slaughter me if you disagree with me. But do politely tell me in a comment because I love seeing other people's depictions of stuff. Anyways, that is it for my first YouTube video. Well, my first YouTube video on this channel. I really do hope you enjoyed. Please do comment either here or on my TikTok or on my Discord, whatever, what you want me to do next. I do have a few videos in store, something to do with a certain show called Bingo Stray Dogs, a little ranking of Ever After High, but this channel is mainly going to be like media focused. So ask me to review shows, rank shows, talk about characters, analyze characters, the whole kaboom. Just give me stuff to do because I like doing stuff for you guys. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, just tell me because I love it when people enjoy my stuff. And I will see you guys in another dimension. Bye!